What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RBL Weekly. It is week 3 of the 2025 RBL season, sponsored exclusively by Neft Vodka. And we are really getting into things here. Exciting first 2 weeks, and we're back with more this week. As always, I'm the commissioner and of the Roast Battle League. I'm all f***ed up here. I don't know why. There's a mosquito. That's basically what's going on. I was notified that there's a mosquito somewhere near me, and it is ruining my night. I'm Pat Barker. That's Brian Moses. This is Keith Carey, our very special guest this week.
Hey, everybody.
Rough intro to start the show. Thankfully, we got some good battles to make up for it. You gentlemen, we just got back from Wrightwood, California, which we are going to sound insane talking about on this podcast. Just coming out and being like, you guys have to see the best comedy club in the world. It's inside a B&B in the mountains in a 5,000 resident town.
I want to go back to this mosquito. You think a mosquito looks at both of you and says, oh, I can't. That looks like unlimited beer right there.
How much weight do I have to lose before I no longer get the fat jokes?
We'll keep this here, that's all.
It's permanent spiritually. Like,
I know.
You got to understand, your heart is still fat. Like,
Roast Battle will really keep you in line because you start feeling good and then you go in and you're like, oh, I don't think I'm fat enough to be called fat anymore. And you find out very quickly you are.
If it makes you feel any better, the mosquito looked at me and Moses and was like, the fat guy and the guy, he's the only one without it. So I'm going for Pat.
I didn't know mosquitoes, I didn't know they filtered. All right, whatever. Whatever mosquito. Now I'm mad at the mosquito now.
Is Moses the fat guy or the guy?
Don't worry about it.
All right.
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
I think I'm the AIDS guy.
So Wrightwood, California, had a very successful weekend there, and we debuted a live stream that I think we're going to be making a regular thing, monthly. We dropped it on everybody with no announcement. Just if you were around, all of a sudden there was an alert. Roast Battle is going live, and I would say it was a big success. What do you think about the show?
Yeah, over 1,000 people watched it, so I don't know how you guys found out about it. That's wild. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great shoot. It looked professional from what everybody was saying. I liked it. I love a live. We did them back in the day. This is probably best to view live if you're actually live there. I feel like sometimes we edit out some of the funnier things. Sometimes, not I'm kidding. Sorry, CJ, but no, we do a good job.
Yeah, no, I had a fucking blast. It felt very like, very going back to old school, like when we were doing it in the belly room and like people were showing up like, I don't totally understand what I'm watching, but it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It is one of those things it's hard to tune out. If you accidentally stumble upon it, you kind of have to watch it the entire way through.
Right.
You know, it's a little bit chaotic. And it did, that room also feels a little bit like the old school belly room, that insane level of energy that, frankly, doesn't exist anymore. It's been a plot over the last 2 seasons in the RBL is how the LA crowds are kind of mid compared to some of the other cities.
Yeah, I would encourage, if you're watching this and you live in LA, fucking suck less. Like, I don't know, man. Do whatever amount of blow makes you more fun to do jokes for.
There it is.
Yeah, just live like a heavily fire-prone area and, make barely over 6 figures. Yeah, Wrightwood, California. And that maybe will humble your fucking attitude, LA.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That'll show you.
Either way, it was a great weekend. We did some stand up, we did some battles. We're going to be doing the monthly showcase there. We're going to be airing it live. We're going to be doing the stream. So stay tuned. We got a lot more coming from there. Let's jump right into the battles this week. It's week 3 of the season. I'm excited to get your perspective on it as somebody who's been around the roast battle game for a long time. I know you're kind of familiar with the league. You're learning more about it every day. I would assume some of these cities you haven't seen their stuff yet, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's jump right into it, and we'll start with the number 7 battle this week. And it's the same city that was number 7 last week. Denver's strategy to pick up 1 point at a time for the entire year. Slow and steady. Will it win the race? No. They're going to have to pick it up, but better to be on the list than not. It's the number 7 battle this week between a Denver veteran, we've seen a bunch, Jake Tupitza, and a 2025 RBL rookie, Haley Raven. Here it is.
Haley Raven, or as I like to call her, the Wicked Witch of the Best Western. Haley might seem like she's in a bad mood all the time, but that's not the case. It's just that it's almost that time of the month when she turns into a werewolf. Fuck.
Jake, thank you for taking a break from painting all those swastikas on windows to come roast tonight. I know you're very excited to verbally abuse a woman in real life instead of from a burner account. But Jake, if you're here, who's making a hot or not list of children at the library?
I actually used duct tape to make that swastika. Now, this conjugal visit baby is Haley Regal. Hey, Haley, if you're here, who's been writing all those love letters to those school shooters?
Jake told me he crushes pussy. Turns out he just runs over a lot of cats. Jake looks like he was the last one to find out he's still a virgin. You look like a lab-created virgin. Jake's idea of foreplay is solving a Rubik's Cube by himself.
Tell me you don't get a little hard when you get one side right, you know? Just me? Anyways, thank you very much, Sydney Sweeney Todd. Fun fact, Haley can't unlock her phone unless she has eyeliner dripping down her face.
Jake's favorite thing about a vagina is that it bleeds.
Hey, Haley, if you're here, who's been sexually harassing Ed, and Eddie?
That is a spot-on reference.
Jake killed John Benet Ramsey.
We're the same age. Or we were the same age.
He used a time machine to kill John Benet and blow Hitler.
So now we're just making up stuff, huh? Haley is the owner of a pet rat. She used to have a pet gerbil, but it kept falling out of her asshole. Because of the gerbil thing people do.
It's been a great year for Jake because he can only have an orgasm when a plane crashes.
Yeah, they put the bag there for a reason. Haley is from Nebraska. Crazy, right? I would have guessed Iowa. Anyways, no. It makes sense that she's from Nebraska, because much like Nebraska, she's flat and run through by truck drivers.
You look like a hard-boiled stillbirth. You're the least hot female comedian in Denver. I don't know whether to bully you or eat your pussy.
Nice. So that was the number 7 battle this week, coming to us from Denver. Denver's a really interesting city because I feel like that first season it was all about Jake and Adam Gilliland, and then last year it was like Jeff Stonick and Phil Corridor. And then this year, you know, you got someone like Haley, who has never done roast battle before. I think that was her first one ever. Definitely first RBL battle. I thought she had some good shit, and she picked up a win over a Denver vet. What did you think, Keith?
Yeah, for a first battle, that's fucking really good work. I love how creative she was. It's very easy to fall in the hole when you're fighting boring white guys of the same played out school shooter, pedophile, yada yada. And she hit those, obviously. But she also had some really clever sort of outside the box kind of, I like the absurdity and the sort of whimsy that she was pulling in. That was fun to watch.
Yeah. It was funny this week. The ranking committee had a really difficult time. The top 5 battles were all separated by fractions of points. The battle that came in 5th could have been in second if like one ballot had been slightly different. And then 6 and 7, it was kind of a race to the bottom. There was a big gap between 5 and then 6 and 7. And, you know, Denver, Atlanta, LA, there were a lot of cities competing for those last 2 spots. Denver sneaks in, and I think it was because of a couple of those big pops that we heard. What were your takes on the battle?
I mean, I was there for this battle.
Shit!
Yeah, I saw this. It was the same battle
That's
that
right.
Ashley Ing and that person she battled, Liv. That was a great battle. I remember in the room. It opened the show. Jake Tupitza, looking back at that now, it just feels like he maybe underestimated his opponent, even though I know he wanted Haley because they know Haley's a great writer and like she's a good, stand-up in town. And you could tell it was almost like she was kind of just like going with like jokes she was writing on the spot, almost like that's how prepared she seemed to be, and she just had like jokes to spare, and it felt like Tupitza was just kind of like I'm gonna Tupitza out of this thing, right? Because maybe like 1 or 2 pops where she had maybe 3 to 4, and then a couple of asides that were just like real big pops, like Jake likes a pussy because his favorite thing about a pussy is that it bleeds, a lot of good classic things. And I got to say this, white community, the phrase "run through" or "ran through." It has hit your culture like fucking smallpox. You guys are using it like it's been like since like the 80s we've been using this, and we've been using it sparingly like a black person would use seasoning. You don't dump it all at once, you guys. I don't know. It's hit your community. I've heard it like solid for 2 years now. Stop it.
Yeah, we're popping the little safety cap off the lorries and just putting the whole thing in there.
She's been ran through. Oh my God, that's not how you
They're
use
running
it.
amok in that pussy. Am I doing it right?
But yeah, Tupitza is one of my favorite all-time new battlers, especially with the season going to his 3rd. I big thanks for him. But yeah, Haley. After that, I was like, there's gonna be some new girls. I want to say some new ladies in this thing that are probably gonna take over. I told you that when I left Denver. I was like, there's some new battlers out there, and there's some new battlers just in general in the Bay Area, in Denver, in San Diego, in Phoenix, in LA that are just kind of popping up. And this might be the year of the lady.
I think we're gonna see some of that on the episode today.
Oh sure.
I think we have a couple of really good battles that are going to illustrate your point. That is not what's up next. Next, it's a couple of dudes.
Woo!
Back to the dudes.
Hogs.
And these are 2 guys that, if you've been a fan of RBL, you certainly know them. They're household names within the sport. This was a battle I was very excited about. And it's interesting how it played out. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's the number 6 battle this week, and it comes to us from LA. It's a NorCal versus SoCal battle between the 2023 world champion Ryan Nessen going up against the Bay Area's Logan Farr. Here it is.
LA, let's make it so fucking loud we break this bitch. Battle! Let's go!
Ryan, if you're here, who's telling the door guys who you're opening for this weekend? I'm sorry. I don't want to get mad at Ryan real quick. Ryan's actually been battling depression for a long time, and I just don't get it, man. You're rich. You have a lovely wife. You travel for comedy. Why the long nose?
That's good. I like it. That's good. Guys, keep it going for the Macho Man, No Knee Savage. What's so weird? Logan's life obviously changed forever that night when he passed out and got that train ran through him. But enough about his first jiu-jitsu sleepover. Yeah, Logan's a UFC guy. Unattached feet and calves.
Okay, mazel twat. Ryan has been struggling to get his wife pregnant. And I, for one, am happy to hear that. Just because I'm just excited about the fact that millions of potential Jews aren't getting tricked to being another bun in the oven. You don't think the sperm in his balls is talking like, hey guys, don't listen to his lies. The last load ended up in her gas chamber.
Jesus Christ, dude. Logan, you're like way more Jewish than me. Even your legs are circumcised. Yeah. Logan got more upset when Colin Kaepernick took his knee than when God took both of his.
I'm laughing at a joke not because it was funny, but because his dad is in hell tickling my feet. Ryan dresses like his dad knew what black people were.
I have no idea what that means.
All right. Is that it?
All right.
Yeah, you go for it, dude.
Okay. Keep it
You
going.
always
for
love a discount.
Yeah, I already said that up top. All right. Anyway, keep it going for Legolas Cage. Logan looks like everything I've ever built from IKEA. Like, I swear there were more parts. Like, wait, one of the legs fell off? Fuck it, I'll slap some stickers on it. Nobody will notice.
Fun fact about Ryan, he has a DUI. Everyone knew that. His dad also had a DUI, but it was dying upon impact. I'm kidding. He died of stomach cancer. Turns out you shouldn't swallow pennies.
Again. We get it. I'm Jewish. But looking at Logan's legs, he's Polish. I don't know. Yeah. Logan met his ex on a dating app for amputees. StubHub. Yeah. She was Asian, but they broke up because she never let him come inside until he took his feet off.
She hated that I left footprints on the bedspread. Some of you'll get it. Not all these are bangers, guys. I'm sorry.
That's how you know it's a good battle.
Well, I got to be honest here. He already mentioned I coach jiu-jitsu. He used to coach Krav Maga, which is an Israeli self-defense. Do you guys know what Krav stands for? Are really violent.
Spelled it wrong, you dumb idiot.
Guys, we've been through a lot tonight, haven't we?
Just like Palestine.
Yeah. You look like you've been.
Damn.
That's great.
Jesus Christ. Guys, I know you've had a long night of battles. I want to end this one with a song. Is that cool with you guys? Can you cue that up for me? It should have been queued up.
It's always a
That's
fun
too
game
late.
to figure
Okay.
out. Are we going to get
Can we go back to the
demonetized
beginning?
for licensed
Never
music
mind, whole joke's
or
blown.
for the Jewish racial slur on the joke before it?
Yeah, please take a seat, Logan. This one's for you. Logan dreamed he was 6'2", made a birthday wish, got hit by a choo-choo. An Amtrak cut him off at the knees. The same week his mom got a job at a shoe company. It's like a train hit you on your birthday. It's some free shoes when you ain't got no legs, though you got the height, but you're still short 2 feet, and nobody cares. You're bigger. All right, that's enough. All right, that was it. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay. Lot going on there. Lot going on with that battle. Sometimes on paper, you're like, oh, if these guys just both show up and do their normal thing, it's going to be outstanding. And then they show up and do a little bit different thing. And it's still good, but, I don't know. You explain. What do you think?
That was what's fascinating to watch about Logan sometimes, and I love Logan. Logan's one of my favorite roast battlers in the world. Is he'll just test the wall of like how much of a dick can I be before I lose the likability of not having legs.
Yeah.
And it was somewhere around the Krav Maga violent thing.
Yeah.
I remember the crowd was like, even for us, this might be a little too much of the anti-Semitism seasoning. Yeah, I mean I've seen better from both those dudes. They had moments, but it was kind of fine.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. And I feel bad shit talking because it's not like it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but
I don't think it's shit talking.
when you set the bar that high, which both these dudes have, it's like it's hard not to be a little disappointed by what would be a really good battle from someone who didn't have that kind of resume behind them.
Completely agree. That was kind of my take on it as well. And just like, it wasn't even that the jokes were bad. It was just awkward. There was like an awkward kind of like energy. Logan did go like super hard, and it wasn't, connecting with the crowd. And then Ryan, I actually liked the song at the end. I like the attempt. I like the swing. I always respect that. And that, the last time he took a big swing like that was when he did the Prime sponsorship thing against Nate Welch, and it completely sank him for a year. So I was like, oh no. But I think he pulled it off. What did you think about the battle?
It's tough to not go a cappella. Over the years, I've seen guys try to attempt the song because the song can drown out your lyrics. You may not be queued up. The song may not. Yeah, there's all kinds of risk involved. So I do appreciate an attempt. But next time, always just go a cappella. It'll always work. The nostalgia will take over. Everybody will start clapping along with you, and then you'll just win because now you got everybody on your side.
He's in a rough spot with that song though because the verse doesn't sound like anything a cappella.
No.
You need the big hook, and
this is what I'm saying. You shouldn't. I mean, that song. It's just even like hearing. I'm like, I just don't even. I'm thinking a cappella. I'm like, had he done it with the music or not, it still just doesn't track from because it just took away from that whole performance. I thought Ryan had a great performance up until that song. Yeah. That song took it away because of the timing and because the lyrics just weren't as hard as like there was punchlines that were as hard as the other jokes he had before. I think that kind of like I forgot what he had done before with a lot of the rebuttals he did, just the jokes he wrote before. Logan was just burying himself a hole, so it didn't really matter at that point. But I thought if it was close going into that last joke, had I been judging or something like that, I would have been like, oh yeah, there's just no way you can't win on a cheesy fucking song like that. But I do like the fact that Ryan is back. Ryan hasn't been back in a little bit. This is like 2 or 3 now matches. He's come back and looked pretty strong. Logan, I feel like, is kind of going for this, just like getting through things and be able to say some kind of ethnic slur in him. I feel like that's his whole thing now. It's just like, I can do like one good joke they'll know I'm a writer, but then after that, I gotta say like at least 2 slurs so people know I'm a real one.
Save that thought.
No.
Uh-oh.
It's a long episode. We got a lot longer to go. My only thought on the battle, because I think you guys covered the majority of it there, and I think you nailed it. I'm going to add a moment of positivity when I say I'm laughing because your father is in hell tickling my feet.
That's really good.
Truly one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time. Really, really well done. Overall, a little bit disjointed, but it had some moments, and, you saw what I did there. That was the number 6 battle this week. Let's keep the countdown rolling right now. And now we get to the top 5, and these were the ones that the ranking committee was very divided on. And this battle, I feel bad that this one is in the 5 spot because I watched this one and I thought this had a real shot at going number 1. I thought at worst it would be number 2. And it ends up by a fraction of a point dropping from 2 to 5. Wow. It's an outstanding battle. And to your point about the ladies killing it this year, this is 2 of the finest female battlers from Barcelona. These are a couple people, and one of them, it's their first appearance on the podcast. The other one we've seen a couple times. It's your favorite, Esther, a.k.a. Black Esther. Moses' name, not mine. It's okay for him to say it. I'm just relaying what he said. And she's going up against Jamie Lerner. It's the number 5 battle this week. Here it is.
Which one's Black Esther?
All right, this is Esther, or as she's known by the roast battle officials, Black Esther. That is true. But she's a great comedian. She's a dedicated artist. She does her morning pages every single day. And by morning pages, I mean mourning the relationship she never had with her father.
That's true. Well, I call Jamie's daddy now, so... So I'm cured.
I'm not.
Okay, everyone, this is Jamie Lerner. Jamie is 80% Jewish and 20% house elf. Jamie is also a copywriter at the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. Jamie is a B cup, and the B stands for bitch. And her nose is a G, and the G stands for genocide.
difference in the way they respond to the Jew jokes in Barcelona versus LA.
And so does Jamie.
I do not! I have no, I'm done. I'm roasted. Okay, it's the Holocaust again, all right, you guys? Well, this is Esther, and you can tell that Esther has depression and ADHD because she planned to kill herself.
That was so good. Give it up for Mrs. Bean, everyone. Jamie does musical comedy. Gay! She plays the ukulele. And I say plays because all her songs sound the same. Jamie Lerner, more like Jamie, learn a few more chords. Jamie, oh sorry.
No, continue.
Jamie might be terrible at playing instruments, but she is excellent at playing the victim.
Thank you, Princess T on a trumpet. That was the worst one I had. So, Esther loves Fall Out Boy, so she's as white as I am. She also grew up in South London, and so my question to you is, what do Esther and South London have in common? They've both been gentrified by vegan white boys in flannel. I know, it costs a lot more to fuck Esther now.
That is true. Your dad is very rich.
He's Jewish. What?
Jamie says that she doesn't feel like she fits in the comedy scene as a musical comedian, which I totally get, because musical comedy is an abomination. Much like Israel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant Israel bombs the nations of brown people.
Oh, boy. I don't know. The Jews were slaves in Africa first, so...
Why'd you do that, Mo? What
Well done.
Playing the victim. Esther is essentially the DEI hire of Barcelona's comedy scene. For those of you who don't know, DEI is diversity, equality, or diversity, equity, inclusion. And a lot of those programs are being cut in the US. And luckily for Esther, if we cut it here, no worries, because she's probably going to cut herself first. Guys, don't laugh, okay? It's not nice. She has dyslexia. She thought it said D-I-E.
That was good. It makes the teacher in me really want to give you a sticker.
I love that.
Like a yellow star.
No one ever said that.
Jamie is very proudly Jewish. She honors her ancestors every day by not showering. Jamie's so Jewish that she only started saying Free Palestine because she thought that meant she'd get Palestine for free.
tattoos. Thank you, beyond sad. To the left, the femoral arteries a little to the left.
God damn.
God. Okay, Esther's ex is on meth currently, which is proof that it really is bad luck when a black pussy crosses your path.
Muzzle. Jamie was sexually assaulted by a guy in her improv class. That's what you get for taking improv. Finished.
What a great way to close it out. My God.
Bravo.
I have thoughts, but I have to start with Brian Moses. There was some slavery talk in there. There was some historic. I know you love the historical references, and you're going to break it all down. I also want you to speak to the fact that you refused to draft Esther to your fantasy team because you said Barcelona is too racist against black people. That has changed. They love her. Yeah. That crowd reaction, they damn near. I felt like I was watching like a Justin Bieber concert. They were going insane. Everything she said. Hot crowd. She dominated. She killed it. Jamie had great jokes too. I thought it was an awesome battle. What was your main takeaway?
Yeah, Dodger fans also love Jackie Robinson, but every other club he went to, they used to hate him. So, a baseball stadium, right? So I'm just saying, they can all love her, but I'm saying if she goes to Madrid, it might be a different story.
Okay, I got you.
They love Esther. Esther's a hell of a writer. That was a great battle. You had hyped this up over the weekend in Wrightwood, and I was like, we'll see about that. And Jamie Lerner Butts, welcome to the roast battle. I've seen your battles before, but that by far is your best I've seen.
Oh yeah.
That was pound for pound with probably one of the best roasters in that whole country. Black Esther really proved that she is formidable. As far as the slavery goes, yeah, guys. This is an Ian Edwards joke. Look up Ian Edwards. He's a very funny stand-up comic. I think Bill Burr produced his last special. Ian has this joke about Jews always say, we were the first to be slaves. It's like, all right, well, you guys want to call shotgun on slavery? Go ahead. That's his joke. What we say, and what we just learned, you were in Austin that last weekend. We were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the Black Israelites?
No, you told me about them.
Okay, so if you follow Kyrie Irving or Kanye West, they do this thing. The Hebrew Israelites, they say that we're the true Jews, the original Jews. So if that is true, that Jews are the first slaves, and we're the true Jews, then we've always been slaves. So then. Sorry, Jamie. It wasn't the white Jews. It wasn't Ashkenazi Jews. It was the true African Jews that were slaves.
Is now let's go a logic problem or something? Like, okay, if the slave train leaves New York going at 700 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Keith, counterpoint?
Look, I don't know who were slaves first, but I'd much rather visit the pyramids than Alabama, so... I don't know. They at least made it work.
I'm just gonna say this: if you can be like, you people ran through from us, I could be like, well, you took slavery, so now we're even.
This whole thing we didn't corner the market on slavery. Usually in a war you take prisoners and those are your slaves. Black people, we got. If you watch this program, I know you don't, but if this clip goes viral. You gotta know that we.
God, I hope this isn't the one that goes viral.
Away from this going viral.
I felt Keith Homer Simpsoning into the bushes the entire time you're talking.
I literally zoned out for a second trying to think of something funny to say about the battle, and when I came back, I was like, "What are the Black Israelites fucking doing? What?"
That happens a lot on this podcast.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. Black Israelites. We're true Jews. So I'm Jewish in here right now, according to Dr. Umar, Kanye West, and Kyrie Irving, and Jamie Lerner. It wasn't the white Jews. Those black Jews that were slaves first. Continue, guys.
What'd you think about the battle, Keith?
I think, look, you're all great slaves, and it's not a competition. It's not a race. Well, it's two races, but... No, I thought that was a great battle. Again, like you said, I don't keep up with the league as much as I should, so I'm not super familiar with a lot of the Barcelona battlers, other than James Regal, obviously, who I've met, who's fucking great. That was awesome. I loved both of them. I love the mix of, like, very clever and very like thoughtful, smart kind of referential jokes with stuff as delightfully dumb as you do musical comedy gay or B cup for bitch. Like I think any battle that has that mix of the smartest thing you've ever heard and the absolute stupidest thing you've ever heard is my favorite shit. Love. I'm trying not to call her Black Esther. Love Esther. Love Jamie. Was honestly the most surprising part of that battle to me was finding out that British people do meth.
Oh, that's so funny.
That feels so American. That feels like when I found out Japan has a hockey team, where I was just like, "What do you know about this? About these streets?" Like,
Jamaica has a bobsled team.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Cool Runnings, but for. I guess if you're British, you're already going to have meth teeth anyway. You're 80% of the way there.
Yeah. Might as well expedite the process.
Yeah.
No, I agree with your point, though, about, like, the joke writing and how you mix, like, the super clever stuff with just, like, the super dumb. And the way, because a lot of the jokes were, like, really, longer and more thought out, and they had multiple parts and tags and setups and everything. And then for Esther to close with, she got molested. That's what you get for doing improv or whatever. Yeah, it's perfect. It was pacing wise, it was great. The chemistry, the camaraderie was great. You could tell they're friends. It had everything that you want in like a great battle. And by the way, for the record, Esther, between 3 RBL seasons now, 9-0. There are only 3 people. We've had almost 2,000 battlers now. There are only 3 people who have at least 9 wins and are undefeated. Dan Nolan, Shelley Gruenberg, Esther.
We've been looking for this. And I know you guys don't want to say black, but I'm going to. I've been looking for a great black battler for 12 years. Esther and DeHerm. If it's you two, holy shit.
That could be the world championship matchup this year.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx and Serena Williams. I'm excited about this.
Can you imagine Esther versus DeHerm in the middle of Tokyo to decide the world championship?
That's like Godzilla and Mothra. Like they're not going to know what to do.
This has to happen. By the way, underrated. I don't think nobody caught this. I think you did, Pat. But when she said the Jamie plays the victim well, that she acts, and then she said it right after Jamie said, "Well, Jews were slaves first."
Oh yeah.
She plays the victim. I was just like.
Yeah,
perfect joke.
Yeah, no, nicely
Perfect
done. Beautifully done. Awesome battle.
Excellent
number
work.
5. I think a lot of weeks it would have been higher than number 5, and this is why I'm glad we get to watch all 7 battles this year. Because in past years we would have just thrown to that. You would have never seen it, and now we can watch it and react to it. All 7 of them, so it's great. Keeping it moving right now. We go to the number 4 battle, and what do you guys think about more Logan Farr? Should we get more Logan Farr on the show today?
It's just his legs battling this time. But the rest of them stay at home.
Logan Farr becomes the second battler in the history of the RBL to land on the countdown twice in 1 week. This was a battle you were also at from Roast Fest in the Bay Area. Logan Farr against Barcelona's James Regal, another Jew. Let's see what happens. It's number 4 this week. Here it is.
Second, everybody make some noise for this battle. Keep it going for Bill Nye doesn't know the age of consent guy. James is a 41-year-old retired DJ with an 18-year-old girlfriend. Yeah. Well, we know what DJ stands for. Diddlin' Juniors. His girlfriend actually left him as soon as she graduated high school math.
See, I feel so disgusted by the age of my girlfriend. Why have you been watching her Instagram stories all week?
Because she's finally legal.
Jesus.
This over-friendly rescue dog is Logan Farr. I feel a bit bad coming out here to roast someone with such obvious mental disabilities, but I feel like the train thing you talked about earlier, it's a made-up story. This fucking dumb. I think you didn't realize you're only supposed to sell the pictures of your feet.
Yes, I lost 2 feet to trains. He lost 2 wives in trains. Yeah, James dates like the UK colonizers. He looks for the underdeveloped ones. And the second they're old enough to realize what's going on, they leave him. Too mean, got it, I'm sorry. America!
didn't think that was mean enough. I expected a roasting, not an amputeasing. Alright, so I just met Logan tonight, but he looks like he only believes in two genders, but identifies as a transformer. A transformer called Stumblebee. I watched his videos, a lot of people say it looks like the Terminator. I think he works for Skynet in fucking tech support. You look like a BattleBot got raped by the guy that built it.
Fuck yeah. That's funny. James is English and Jewish. Gross. He says he's not a good Jew because he's bad with numbers, financially and age-related.
I mean, you're going on and being Jewish. You're the most Jewish one on stage. Your whole body's fucking circumcised. So, I've never been more sure that someone calls their bedroom their dojo.
There it is.
That's so good.
Dojo. They like that. Logan says he's a veteran. He was in the Air Force as a firefighter. You so nearly had one cool job. What was that like? Because that's the character we all wanted to be in Top Gun, wasn't it? The firefighter. At work, you were like, "Hey Maverick, we gonna fight any fires today? Just enemy planes. Okay, see you tomorrow, I guess." He really wanted to be Top Gun. He's ended up bottom gone.
Talking shit about my job. You were a 41-year-old DJ. That doesn't need a punchline, guys. James lives alone now that his wife is fucking other dudes. He lives alone with his 16-year-old cat. And that's still not the youngest pussy he's cuddled.
You love the pussy jokes out here, don't you guys? That's fun. You look like the final boss of holding a fish on Tinder. Logan's parents divorced when he was young. So his dad also walked away from a drunken accident. No, man, listen, I would be real for I really got to respect this guy. Like, his set was amazing earlier. Like, turning something negative into a positive is incredible, right? Like, you like boast about your height now. It's amazing. It's amazing. He's 6 feet tall, but he's still 2 feet short.
So there it was. That's the number 4 battle this week. Unfortunate timing. It's cool that Logan gets to be on the countdown twice, but I think we heard 2 different jokes there that were used in both battles.
Yeah.
To set the record straight on it, this one happened first. The Ryan one was second, but this one hadn't been released publicly, so it's just very clearly parallel thinking. But it is a bummer to have 2 battles almost back-to-back on the podcast where guys are using the same jokes. The circumcision joke and the 2 feet short, I think, was part of Ryan's song at the end. That aside, I thought it was a fun battle. One thing I love about Logan is I was watching, because when I saw these and I saw Ryan's battle second and I realized that they were the same jokes, he reacts on stage as if he never heard them before. He's all about putting on a good show. There's no part of him who's like, actually, James Regal did that joke against me 2 weeks ago. He doesn't he doesn't care about like the wins and losses. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna have a good time up here.
Sell whatever's coming at you, because the more the crowd is stoked on what joke just got done on you, the more they're gonna respond to yours. It's gonna make the show better all the way around.
Absolutely.
And help you. I do just want to point out that we should not let Josh Means off the hook for wearing this weird vest in this video. Looks like a fucking riverboat blackjack dealer on a garbage barge. Not a lot. But that was a good battle. I know I was a little disappointed in Logan's fight earlier. This was much closer to the Logan that I know and love. I thought he really came well. I loved fucking James too. I love how James will really go for a walk with a joke.
Yeah.
Like you get really tied to the very tight setup punchline style, and he'll really kind of stretch it out and almost like do like a little mini stand-up bit with like the Top Gun thing. Yeah, I just thought that was a good battle.
Yeah, it doesn't always hit. The Top Gun thing didn't totally connect for me. I thought that was maybe like the low point of the battle for him, but I thought everything else he was just kind of on point.
I like when people take the risk though, even if it doesn't always hit, because I think that encourages people to be like, all right, well I can try and stretch out a little bit in terms of the form of what you can do with these things.
Yeah.
So I was like, a la Jay Yamaki.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like they when I say they, the English countrymen, it feels like they take walks.
Mm-hmm.
Scottish guys, English guys, they seem to take walks. James. Where Esther was a little more punchy, I would say, right? English lady, probably a little more punchy than a little more precise. They edit a little more efficient with how long they may take walks on some of their jokes, right? With James, I was there for this one. That dojo really popped. He had some huge pops. This is probably the battle of the night there, honestly. Big pops. Logan came and brought it. He had some really, really sinister ones up top. I thought they were really good. That circumcised joke, even though I heard both of them, honestly, I would react just like Logan because it almost felt like I heard two different. Honestly, the punchline's the same, but they were framed differently, right? Obviously, like his whole body, and then you're talking about the legs, but they were both rebuttals. Even though they both probably wrote those jokes, but they fell into them in appropriate places, I would say. And I think that's what makes those different. And yes, Josh, James had the joke of the fucking night when he was judging and talking about Means. He said Means, because Means ended up battling Paige Wesley that night.
Okay.
And he said that, he's like, look at James up there looking like a tampon that Paige just found a week ago.
Dude, so good. When you break down what Regal did coming to the States for like 2 weeks, he battled in L.A., he battled in the Bay, he battled in Austin, he judged in San Diego, he judged in New Orleans, and apparently this night they were like, we're short on judges, so after you finish battling Logan, you have to judge the... And I think he judged before and after his... Like, he took a break from judging to go battle and win, and
what
it's
a
just
champ.
Crazy.
Yeah, I saw three of his 4 battles out of the 5 cities he went to. I mean, like, all of them were fire. I even told him after the Austin, I was like... After that Logan battle, because he was exhausted, like he was beat up, and then even like going to judging, he was just still on fire. It's like you ever work with Mike Lawrence in the morning?
Oh yeah.
8:45 in the morning, the guy's just like it's an AK-47. That's this guy. He's just like he's still shooting accuracy, even though he's just like he can't even think. And then going into the John Luna battle in Los Angeles, and then that Paige battle. I mean, like. Those are all A battles.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, like he should hit the countdown should hit for every one of those battles he did in the States here. But I was really impressed with him, and like he's a dark horse for MVP for me.
He also had down in San Diego one of my favorite like punny nicknames, like the "thank you so and so" type of things. There was a guy up there who was legitimately a chef who had like long hair and like a shitty like mustache or whatever, and he called him Sexual Assault Bay.
Oh.
And I'm like, my God, that's good. And then he's like, yeah, I've just been sitting on that one for years, and the guy was actually a chef. I got so excited. I'm like, you just have a database up there of these? And he's like, yeah.
One day I'll meet a chef, and I'll give him what for.
Turns out San Diego was the spot.
Before we go to the next one, Pat, you were there for 3 of them too. What was up with the battlers just like progressively making James's girlfriend younger in every city we got to?
That is a good point. That is a good point. And by the way, not his girlfriend anymore.
Not even. He's not anymore, guys.
Sadly,
get over it.
I don't know why, because this seems like a great situation to be in for her.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, everybody who battles Logan, the jokes are about him not having legs. Everybody who battles James, the jokes are going to be about him. If you're a roast battler and you're going to have sex with a 19-year-old when you're 40-something, you know, they're going to mention it.
Don't walk into the bear trap, dog.
Yeah, you know, it's if you want to reap the rewards of that setup, you have to also deal with some of the repercussions, I guess.
Yeah, don't be Goldilocks walking into Baby Bear's trap. Yeah.
But shout out to her. She's very nice, by the way. Met her in Barcelona. She's lovely, and James is lovely too. And I hope they're both very happy in whatever's next for them in life.
Yeah, she just can't drink legally in the States.
Yeah,
but out there it's cool. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
18 in Spain. So for all you freaks, move out there. Get out of the States.
Let's go. Yeah, sometimes I just don't know where to go. I'm like, let's just get to the next fucking battle.
My editing is great.
I don't know where he's going. Yeah. Let's go with another all-female battle. You hit the nail on the head for the theme this week. This is a great battle from Chicago. Number 3 this week, Chicago. They're off to a strong start this season. Of course, they've been having their tournament. Every year their tournament creates some new stars, and this is going to be the second appearance already of the season for Tory Ward. Tory Ward has moved on to the final 4 of their tournament. So spoiler alert, she wins this battle we're about to watch. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But this is her, I believe, quarterfinal matchup against Jenn. That's it, just Jenn. Tory Ward and Jenn, here it is.
Yeah, Tory, if you're here, who's serving lunch to a bunch of unappreciative middle schoolers right now?
Yay. Okay.
No, that was me. Tory actually struggles with an eating disorder. She's always eating disorder and dat order.
Some of us wrote that one.
Oh, that was yours?
I've written a version of that, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Good one, Tony Hawk Tua.
I can't believe nobody got to that before now.
Jenn is actually straight, which is a surprise because she looks like she'd finger you like your pussy's a tiny skateboard.
Gotta love a Tech Deck reference.
No, I know Tory gets nervous around people she finds attractive, so I wanted to dress up like a little boy tonight to throw her off her game. It's cool.
You do look like a little boy. Yeah, okay. Okay, good.
Wait. Can I do my roast?
Oh, no, did I interrupt you? Sorry, go.
It's okay.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, you're all good. I love you, Tory.
Okay.
Guys, this just got really weird. Tory's originally from Lincoln City, Oregon, which is the kite capital of the U.S., and it also explains why she has the body of Benjamin Franklin and talks like she's been electrocuted.
Okay.
That's so good.
I'm sorry.
Good one, dude. Where's my carabiner? Jenn is actually straight. So, fellas, if you've ever wanted a blowjob from someone with a mouthful of sunflower seeds, now's your chance.
What the fuck,
That's
dude?
so good.
It was funny, yeah. Guys, give it up for Tory can't get a job of the Hut. It took Tory 15 years to earn a 4-year degree in economics. And she would have finished it quicker, but it wasn't a degree in omnomnomics. So.
Just studied your game tape.
Jenn, okay, this is true. Jenn has a twin brother she no longer speaks to. I'm guessing ever since they switched bodies.
God damn it, dude.
Tory, thanks for taking time out of your day of bullying little girls at a Hobby Lobby to be here. You look like the final boss at a Joanne Fabrics.
Jenn's gonna be a pilot, which makes sense because she looks like Amelia Earhart got lost in a Zoomies. Shout out
to Tory for skipping her Zoloft prescription tonight to give such an energetic performance. No, Tory does struggle with anxiety. I know you guys are shocked because she hides it really well. But Tory's she's not shifting around up here because she's nervous. She just has a side hustle of testing the integrity of the stages.
I
do have anxiety. Wouldn't it have been funny if I had gone up against the Tourette's guy?
Every Chicago battle has a reference to some earlier battle that I'm unfamiliar with that blows the room. Every single time.
I have to do a roast too. I don't know. You look like a boy. You're like if Timmy Turner was actually voiced by a man.
Okay, nice.
Guys, give it up for them, everybody. Oh my God.
Number 3 battle of the week. Again, all women battle. They killed it. First time seeing Jenn on the podcast. I thought she was really good, but Tory Ward is, she might be this year's Max Sorich. Max Sorich, if you remember, came into last year. He had a few battles the first season, but then he won that tournament. He put up a bunch of fantasy points, like right off the bat, bunch of RBL points, and went to the All-Star game, won the main event of the All-Star game. That could be where, Tory Ward is heading. I mean, she's very, very funny. And whereas her battle before against Nick Emeka, I was the one who was like, I don't know. I don't really get into like the more like alt kind of like whimsical kind of shit. I'm more of like a setup punchline guy. I love the juxtaposition this time between her doing that and Jenn doing a more traditional style. With Nick, they were both kind of like characters, and it was like a little too much for me to process. But I thought she was a perfect foil for Tory this time. What did Keith? What did you think about the battle?
I look, as a fellow fat person with a nervous twitch, I am all in on Tory. This is my first time seeing her, but that was great. I love that you leaned into your whole. What am I saying? You, like I'm talking to her. I mean, I went back to judging mode. Yeah. No, I love that she kind of, she comes up there with a very specific vibe. She's got like the shaky hand with the paper. She looks like Julianne Moore got stung by a lot of bees, and then. As soon as she like gets out of the nervous thing and locks into reading the joke, it's like, oh, she's got the fucking writing to back up all the weird vibrating energy around it. I thought Jenna was the name, correct? Jenn. Yeah. I thought Jenn was awesome too. That was a really fun fight, but Tory's got the sauce. I think there's something there.
Yeah, a couple of those references. The blowjob with sunflower seeds is like that's so specific and so good.
The little skateboard finger.
The little skateboard fingers. Yeah.
No, this was great, man. I mean, Tory, I said last time she was on the podcast that she reminds me of the new Christy Cello. If you guys remember Christy back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
She's just super ball of energy, really energetic, and then when she lands the jokes, they're always just like well written, and they nail them. I love these two. Jenn, the names they have out in Chicago, Queenie Bitch, Jenn. I was like, oh, Jenn. I thought it was gonna be like a girl with a tiara, like like a little type of like princess dress, but no, she looks like a Jenn with two ends.
Yeah,
like this is like if Mallrats was like recast with studs. If you know what a stud is, it's a male lesbian. Anyway, but these two, Tory, great joke. She's gonna be a star on this thing. Jenn, my first time seeing, she went with all the classics. I mean, as much as we hate to hear jokes we've heard before, just as a new person in roast battle, I like to see that they are kind of reinforcing things at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And she had a lot of original shit too.
Yeah.
This one's just funny because I believe they were both Keith Carey jokes.
That part.
That's why it's so good.
To be fair, I don't know if they were jokes I did or jokes that I wrote for other things. But regardless, like I don't go like, oh well.
No, of course not.
You hacked that thing. It's like, yeah, no, we both got to an om nom nom reference on a fat person. Like
disorder, dad order.
If anything, I just think it's kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, fucking somebody else got the same place I got. Like,
yeah, but you know what else I loved about Jenn's performance when she was just like, Tory has anxiety, and you can't tell because she hides it really well. I love little asides like that where it's like, just add a few more words and get another big laugh before you even get to the joke.
Right.
Just like in the setup, just throw in a little dig like that. And it was so true because it was what everybody was thinking. You know? But yeah, Tory now in the final four of that tournament, they are going to crown their tournament winner coming up in the next few weeks. And they're off to a great start this season. The Bay Area and Chicago coming out swinging this year. LA, lacking behind. Week 1, Tom Goss, Nate Welch, number 1 battle. Since then, unranked, and number 6, LA falling out of the race. It's very
crazy.
early,
this actually looks like Tom Goss and Nate Welch on the camera right now.
Goddamn. That's so mean. Well, let's keep going. What do you think about another all-female battle, Moses?
I love it. I mean, they're the best writers in this sport, so let's get it.
They certainly are this week, and this is a New York battle. It's another strong start to the season for New York. They were number 1 last week. I believe they're number 2 this week. And this is someone we've seen a lot of in the past. Divia, Gunasegaran, one of the best out in New York. She will be battling, by the way, at the Comedy Cellar on April 6th, which is coming up. I was all prepared to come on here and not plug the show because it was sold out, but it sold out so fast that they said, we're going to move you guys up to the bigger room. So tickets are now available on sale. We're at the Village Underground at the Comedy Cellar in New York on April 6th. So if you're in that area, make sure you grab the tickets. The lineup of battles is absolutely insane. You're going to want to come out to that. And Divia is going to be on there. This battle you're about to see, though, this is her going up against Amanda Vasco in a 3-round battle. Let's check it out.
All right, Amanda's Latina and I'm Indian, so give it up for the last DEI battle of the Trump administration. All right. Amanda's not like other girls, because other girls are legal citizens. Amanda actually told me she loves Animal Crossing, and I just think that's a terrible way to describe how your family came to this country.
This dehydrated Slim Jim is Divia. I love this guy. Divia used to get in a lot of trouble when she was a kid for lying. She actually still does it to this day when she tells people, your call is very important to us.
Amanda's from Miami, and she's always going on about the Miami heat, which is actually just the burning sensation she feels when she pees.
Who told you that?
My fan's over there, your fan's over there.
Divia looks like she records herself every time she has sex for quality assurance.
All right, keep it going for Livin' La Vida Four Loco. Amanda has never had a pregnancy scare because anytime she's had a condom break, thankfully it's always the one filled with cocaine.
Good one, unibrow bomber. I'm kidding. All right, Divia's obviously not a terrorist. I mean, look at her. She looks like she would ask ISIS for more homework. Divia's Indian and she smells like shit. Divia smells so bad that the first time she tried using Secret, the deodorant, it told somebody.
That's really good.
Divia grew up in New Jersey, and I don't know if you guys know this, but in Jersey, when you need to tent your house for termites, they actually don't spray chemicals. They just have Divia walk in and spread her legs. Divia told me that she was in a sorority in college. Yeah, it was called Beta Wear a Condom. This bitch is stinky.
That's fun. All right, keep it going for Jane, definitely not a virgin. Amanda looks like she'd call the cops on black kids selling lemonade. But only because she has a competing lemonade stand. Actually, if you listen closely, you can hear Amanda rolls her R's when she says the N-word.
Say what now?
Amanda actually tells a joke about having sex with her dad. Yeah, it's not a good joke. Which I assumed wasn't true. But then she told me her dad's not in her life anymore, and that sounds like a guy that's had sex with Amanda. All right, everyone, give it up for this body positivity brat stall over here. Amanda. Just Eric. Amanda is always the maid of honor. Not at weddings, she just takes her cleaning job way too seriously.
I have a really good work ethic. Divia was talking about guys that I would sleep with, but Divia looks like she would let white men come inside her because mayonnaise needs to be stored in a cold, dark place.
I guess that's why you're eating so much mayonnaise. Amanda, if you're here, who's bullying a girl into an eating disorder you wish you had? Amanda's taken so many morning after pills, she might as well change her name to what guys already call her, Plan B.
Divia has a resting bitch face and an active eating disorder. She's a real looker, though. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, Divia's a 7-Eleven.
And that was so clever. All right, keep it going for this combination Taco Bell and cum dumpster.
Now that's clever.
No, having sex with Amanda is like eating at Taco Bell, because you know the meat's not fresh. You're gonna feel gross after. But hey, you were drunk and it was the only thing still open. I got him too.
Divia told me that she loves blue-collared workers. She's a real jacks off all trades. Divia looks like she keeps a spreadsheet of every unenthusiastic hand job she's ever given.
Give a round of applause. That's the battle!
There it is. Number 2 battle this week. Divia, Gunasegaran, Amanda, Vasco. Really fun 3-round battle. Moses, take it away on this one. What'd you think?
Yeah, now I understand what you mean by between the 2 and the 5 battle.
Yeah.
Real close.
Yeah.
They honestly could have been flipped around. That the Esther and Jamie battle between this Amanda and Divia here. Seen Divia a lot of times. Divia is she's becoming a legend out in New York. My first time seeing Amanda, that was fun. Every time we see a new battler from New York, whether it be male or female or non-binary, they always seem to really impress us with their writing. This felt like another old classic of some jokes we've heard before, done like in new premises, kind of repackaged, which is always fun because we know what we're doing. It's reinforcing what we already know. Not much to say about this one because it felt like all the other battles for the most part.
Yeah.
Nothing new, just a lot of solid jokes, nothing real big. I thought Amanda's demeanor was probably, I think her personality came out a little bit as a mean girl. Divia just stayed in the pocket though, looked real sinister at her and just kind of delivered those mid jokes.
I mean, I thought some of the jokes were great. I think the thing about having sex with her dad, and then she's like, sounds like somebody who...
That was my favorite joke of the battle.
That was outstanding. I also really liked the maid of honor one. I thought that was really, clever. I think that there's a couple things here. Number one, to further drive home the 2 through 5 gap, when people submit ballots, I tabulate them all. We had 12 ballots come in. If somebody ranks a battle number 1, it's worth 7, 2, 6, yada, yada, yada. New York came in second with 54 points. Chicago had 53, and the Bay and Barcelona were tied with 52. We had to go to like a tiebreaker, so literally 2 points between 2 and 5. I think any of these could have ended up in any order.
It's almost the same thing that happened last week with the Atlanta battle, right? With Tamar and Shelly, and then Andrew and Josh. They just get more. They get more shots.
Well, it's interesting, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. This is a 3-round battle.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be more jokes in there. Scotland has their style. There's way more jokes in Scotland. We are now 3 weeks in, and spoiler, they're not number 1 this week, which means we are 3 weeks in. No Scottish battles on the board yet. And the feedback I've been getting from the committee is like, God, that was long. That was so many jokes. So just having more jokes isn't inherently an advantage unless the battlers are really good.
The way it's framed, I'm saying though, the way it's framed, it's like because with Scotland they're doing one round, 9 jokes a turn for the most part. I'm saying with this, it's like it's packaged neatly where it's like it's 1 round, it's 2 rounds, it's 3 rounds, and all like 3 to 5 jokes per round kind of a thing.
But one of the pieces of feedback I got, and comment on this from somebody that we all know and very much respect, who's part of the ranking committee. She said that this one would have been better as a 1-round battle. She's like, if you took the best pieces out of this and made it a 1-round battle, it would have been fire. Instead, it was just pretty good.
I would agree with that. It was. I mean, I kind of feel Moses' point. It was kind of a meat and potatoes battle where there wasn't a ton that really blew me away, but I don't think it was bad. I think if you pared that down to the best 5 jokes, that would have had a much more definitive shot at being this high on the ranking for me. But I also I'm hesitant to discourage doing 3-round battles because I think that the 3-round battles are great. Like, I love a longer battle. It's hard to fill them with compelling shit. It's hard to really make them.
I bet this nailed it though that night. I mean, like honestly, I'm not opposed to 3-round battles either. This is a great battle. I just think after we watch those, the battles are almost similar to this, right? Yeah. You're just like, oh, I've seen this, and I may have seen a better version of it, but this was probably closer than. I mean, Esther and Jamie's pretty close. Clearly, Tory, beat Jenn a little more decisively. This was a little closer, so I agree with that edge.
I didn't know who was going to win this. Yeah. I still actually don't know who won this.
Divia did pick up the win, but that's a DM I get sometimes from battlers who are like, "What's the criteria? Does it help if the battle's close?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so."
If a battle's close, odds are it's a better battle because that means 2 people were killing it. And yeah, I mean, I think all the ones we've seen have been relatively close, but this one was like probably the closest of the fights we've watched.
I agree with that. I wanted to also get your thoughts on the moment where they did the looks 1 to 10. She's a 7-11, and Divia was like, "Oh, it's so clever." And like really, I thought, you could see in Amanda's face at that moment, she was like, "I'm ready to fight this bitch." That's how I felt watching it. She seemed to get, it's like a weird moment when you call that out, but that is. There are certain ones that we've heard, a bunch, and certain ones that are getting close to that territory where it's like, this is becoming like, if you do this, it's too much. Another, just as a premise, the idea of the cat and the pussy thing, I've been hearing that so much recently.
Right.
I understand that another word for cat is pussy. I understand pussy has a secondary meaning outside of being a cat.
Ah, good. You've read the literature I've been sending over.
But what are your thoughts on a joke like the 1 to 10, 7-11? Do you have any problem with people using it? And do you have any problem with the opponent calling it out like that?
So as far as the 1 to 10, 7-11, you guys watch so much more battle than I do at this point. Yeah. So I will say I've heard almost every variation of a 7-11 against a brown person joke. That one at least took a different road to get there where it wasn't like from the second she starts talking, I know we're landing on a 7-11, 9-11 joke.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was like... not the most original thing I've ever heard, but I wouldn't put it in the hack, throw it in the trash column. I will say this for calling out somebody and being like, oh, your roast battle joke sucked. It's like, I got no problem with that as long as you can survive because if you do that and then bomb your next joke, you're fucked. And I actually appreciate the confidence that she did it and kept on trucking and won the thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it was like aggro. You know what I mean? It didn't really feel like any feelings were really hurt there. It was like, yeah, you got hit with some shit. Also, you've probably been hearing every version of a 7-11 joke outside of roast battle for most of your fucking life.
That's a great point.
So especially something like that, where it's like somebody who's hearing the same racist joke they're hearing all the time now get an applause break in a comedy club, them being like, shut the fuck up. Like I got no problem.
Yeah, she didn't Nate Welch. It was just like I ain't never heard that one before. Like she's got, and honestly,
I love your Nate Welch impression.
It's okay.
But if you take
that's like a racist impression I would do of you if I never heard you talk. I don't know nothing about no fabrications. I said, what is a Tom Gauss?
Okay, well, now Foghorn Leghorn. I just learned the letters D-E-I. I says. But styles make fights, so I would say between the 2 and the 5 here, if you go down like these are distinct styles. Divia's like real matter-of-fact delivery she has, just sitting there, just like staring at this person, just like burning into their soul. Where, you know, Amanda does have this like mean girl thing, which is like, this bitch stinks.
Yeah.
I did like you fucking
but
stinky.
that secret joke was incredible. By the way.
One of the best. I mean, my God.
So good.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
and
I've
especially
heard a rendition of that joke, I'm saying, but like that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Where I've heard that before, but not like that.
Yeah, I will say, just as somebody who doesn't do the pod all that often, you guys are being done a little bit of a disservice to me having to watch all these battles in a row.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's like my brain starts forgetting jokes, then you guys are calling out jokes. I'm like, oh yeah, those were fucking great. I watched them 2 minutes ago, but I have ADD. So like, I don't want to feel like I'm dismissing that was a good fight.
No, not at all. And you know, if we just sat here, because the battles that make the podcast are good.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just sat here after every battle and we were like, good battle.
Yeah.
I mean, the podcast would kind of suck.
It'd be faster.
You got it. It would definitely be faster. Yes, no doubt about that. That's very funny. But yeah, I mean, we gotta look for things, you know. And sometimes I have to get on the mic and be like, when she said that, Amanda was ready to fight her. I don't know if I believe that, but it's more compelling. And then Moses is like, there was no bad blood. I'm like, I'm trying to create a narrative.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Never mind. These guys hate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But their next battle is going to be with a broken pool cue between them, and whoever is racist while they stab the other one good enough gets to be the queen of the internet or whatever.
Hell yeah. Either way, great battle. April 6th in New York, Divia battling at the Village Underground at the Comedy Cellar. Go get tickets for that. Where can they get Roast Battle tickets?
RoastBattleLeague.com.
That's right. Check it
You're
out.
going to hear all the 7-Eleven, 9/11 comparisons you can fucking handle.
Absolutely. It's what we do best. And now let's get to the number one battle of the week. And you may remember week 2 last year, all of a sudden, 2 young men came out of nowhere from Manchester, and they established that Manchester was here to stay. Mm-hmm. It's time for the season 3, the 2025 version of that same thing.
It's Australia?
It's Manchester again.
What?
Manchester is back on top, the number one battle this week. And this was a battle that, you know, it's so funny when you set them up at the beginning of the season, you're like, that's the one that's going to get us points. This is the, you know, all of that. And this was one that I don't know what the expectations were, but everybody there was blown away. Everybody watching it agreed it was the number one ranked battle. And I'm going to mess up at least one of these names, and I apologize because I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's the number one battle this week from Manchester. It's Bella Cagnoli versus Alex Teague. Hope I got that right.
Very cool. I'm going first. Here we go. Cool. Thanks for waiting. Bella is a 21-year-old half-Italian socialist from London, so thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule of being offended on other people's behalves to be here.
Great.
Bella looks like she lactates almond milk. She has a 19-year-old brother who's often described as the hotter twin, so I would say he's at least a 4. And a guy once asked her to put a finger up his ass, and she did it, and she's half Italian, so I like to think she then pulled out her finger and went, "When's your dol mio day?"
All right. Cheers, Prince Harry with an extra chromosome. Alex, he's had the weight of life on his shoulders. Oh no, sorry, I mean the weight of his fat head. Alex, he's English, but he has very Irish features. By that, I mean his face looks like it's been colonised by his forehead.
Oh, thanks. On the fun facts section of her row sheet, she told me that she doesn't shave her body hair. Not fun, just gross. It does help with her hobbies, though. She loves to knit, so her Gucci's got a scarf. Bella's ex-boyfriend revealed he was asexual shortly after starting to date her. To be fair, he loved Star Wars, but he didn't want to shag Chewbacca. He'd always say, maybe later, and she'd always say,
The deadpan delivery of the Chewbacca voice is what makes it.
Apparently, she sometimes picks her nose. If I were you, I would have picked up a razor and shaved. Maybe your ex would shag Bella's vagina is so hairy, going down on her is like necking on with Ricky Tomlinson.
Take your word for it.
You look like a broken what's-it that's been dragged through H&M. Alex sleeps on his dad's sofa. Ooh, couples argument. Alex, he looks like the guy who'd take a naked wank in the mirror and still not finish. No, Alex, he actually works at Warhammer, which means he doesn't have a lot of sex. That's okay, though. He doesn't need any more head.
Is it me? Oh, yeah, cool. Bella once slept with a married man. Yeah, I was surprised to find out her parents are still together as well. Bella lost her virginity in a shed, which is fitting because that's where I'd put a dirty hoe. And she's half Italian, so I wrote this for you. So you fucked in a shed, took a married man to bed, you're a whore.
Bella. You nailed it.
You look like you've been on Queer Eye, but they gave up halfway through. So, Alex is bisexual, has a trans sibling, and is from Devon, which means he'd fuck his sister before and after transitioning.
They're well fit, shut up.
In Devon, Alex actually has a 3-legged dog, also known as his sister. I hated that!
There it is. The number one battle of the week. It's so funny when they send it over, they're like, it's a 3-joke undercard. And when I went to watch it, because 3-joke undercards, it's tough to make the countdown. And then I'm like, well, they each did 15 jokes.
Yeah.
It's longer than the main events in every other city. So, but I thought they nailed the majority of the jokes, and there were a few that were like truly like, oh, that's great. How have I never heard that one before? Mm-hmm. Really original stuff. I thought it was a worthy number one this week. I didn't have it number one on my first watch through, but I don't disagree with the decision now that I've seen them all together in this order. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. There was some good shit on both sides. I loved I don't know, they seemed like they were having an amazing time up there and just enjoying beating the shit out of each other. I love that 3-legged dog joke at the end. I thought it was really good. I probably wouldn't have voted this as my number one necessarily, but I'm not mad that it's there. I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah, there were 5 different battles that got number one votes this week.
Right.
All of the top 5. Some people had them in, different spots. But Manchester was the most consistent. There were a lot of polarizing ones. Like, some people would have Barcelona, 7. Or some people would have New York, 6. Manchester was kind of like top 3 or 4 on every ballot.
Right.
This was the most solid across the board that nobody could find fault with at all. What'd you think, Moses?
I would agree. The committee this season has nailed it for the first 3 weeks. Shout out the committee. Shout out week 3. This has been a lot of fun already going into week 3. I feel like Alex was probably the star of this episode. I think with his jokes. So I would probably carry it because of that. And she was a great opponent because of that too, because she had great jokes to go with it. So I think joke for joke per battle, I think these guys probably had the best overall jokes as far as everybody else. But yeah, I think Alex, because he nails it with his first joke, and then after that, he's just I get 5 jokes. Every joke after that was like something I hadn't heard before, just something just real about her, real specific to her kind of a thing. Even the dad, like her fucking her dad joke, is a real good incest joke.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard packaged like that before.
Big week for dad fucking on this show.
Yeah.
We usually have a theme. It's wild.
Well, there were 2 in this battle. She had one too.
Yeah,
About
everybody
him sleeping on the couch and all that. I agree. I thought that I love the deadpan delivery, and in the middle of it, it's like, I'm going to do a Chewbacca thing and sing a song.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'll just look down at my phone like, oh, yeah, I guess I did that. Like,
Yeah, LA. I think that's our LA thing. Is like we like to really play into it because we're actors out here, right? Or we're known to like be that. With these guys, it's like it really just is about the writing and just like I guess I'll just do this, and they're just like so good at it. It's like fucking Sam Smith doing Chewbacca.
Every time I hear a British person say Chewbacca, they pronounce it Chewbacca, and
Right.
it always bothers me.
Vagina too. That was wild. Shaves her vagina. I'm like, I can't even take it seriously anymore.
So yeah, number one battle this week. Manchester getting on the board, the first international number one. I know they wanted to come out and make a strong statement this year, and it's crazy that they went in, last week with the Charlie Ashton versus Jack Trainer battle, and I'm sure that's the one they're like, this one is going to set it off, and then it's just a random undercard that ends up getting the job done. So congratulations to both of those guys. Thought it was a great battle.
Shout out Manchester.
Keith, what were your overall takeaways? Having seen some new scenes that you probably hadn't seen before today.
There's a lot of good talent floating around there because I'm starting to play catch up with the league a little bit and like really catch up with some of the people I missed from like the first season and like the second season. There's people I've never heard of who I saw on this thing who I'm like, oh, I want to like see where they go next with battle. I don't know. It's really exciting to see, like, not only does this show keep trucking all over the world, but you're seeing just the talent get better and better and, like, build on what battle has been for so many years. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
We had to wait for it to evolve, really. I mean, we got lucky, I think, in the first, edition of what Roast Battle was, right, with you guys in the golden age in the 2010s. And now going into the mid-2020s, we're really starting to see the evolution of it, 12 years in of, like, people who were in junior high and high school now becoming adults in the workforce, and now they're battling.
Yes.
Right?
So weird,
and then they've heard all your guys' jokes, or they haven't, so they're just kind of, they're reinforcing what we know works, but they're also, like, they're repackaging in ways that we haven't heard before. So I'm a big fan.
I just did some math. When we battled, Bella was 12.
Jesus.
Just old enough for James
upsetting.
to date. Our week one guest, James Regal.
Speaking of which, let's look at the standings right now and see what Barcelona has done these first 3 weeks. Barcelona picking up more points today with the Esther versus Jamie Lerner battle. Also picking up a couple points from James Regal going to the Bay. They extend their lead in the International West. They now have 7 points. Scotland 1.5. Vancouver has yet to make the countdown in 3 weeks, and Toronto has yet to start their season.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know. You got to get the seasons. You can't get points on the board if you're not battling. The International East, Manchester jumps all the way out to that number one spot. They have 10 points. Tokyo and Sydney bringing up the rear. Tokyo still in possession of the wild card spot. We added the wild card this year. And over on the American side, Bay Area stomping a hole in LA so far. And, of course, in the East, it's a two-horse race between New York and Chicago, with Chicago taking the wild card spot. It's way too early to make predictions, so, Keith, please do it. L.A. or the Bay Area? Who do you have this year?
Oh, God, it's hard, man. I don't want to vote against L.A., but
Paige is in the Bay now.
I really think it's hard to overstate how fucked LA is that Paige switched teams.
It's big
because Paige is a guaranteed points machine. It's a mammoth. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is literally Babe Ruth being sold from the Red Sox to the Yankees.
I mean,
there's too many fat reps happening right now.
Listen,
this is big. Babe Ruth. Are we kidding me?
Listen, Paige moving there is terrible for LA and devastating if you're Krill that live under the Golden Gate Bridge. She's a large whale of a woman, you see. No, I mean, look, there's a lot of season to go. I think LA is going to catch up, but I would not sleep on the Bay. I think they have a good shot of creeping in there, and I think even if they squeeze into a wild card spot or something, fucking watch out, everybody. That's the dark horse for me.
I agree, and in terms of LA, they need a hero. They need someone to come rescue them. Week 4, DeHerm.
Oh, let's go, DeHerm!
Let's real quick tell them about some of the dates we have coming up. You can go to roastbattleleague.com for tickets to all of our cities. But in addition to league cities, we're going to be getting out on the road. I'm at a couple of these. You're at all of them. We have a bunch of stuff coming up, of course. New York at the Village Underground at the Comedy Cellar on April 6th.
April 6th, 4 p.m. Big matinee show, big late brunch. Come have some fun with us. 4 p.m. Village Underground, biggest room at the Comedy Cellar. You're going to want to see this show.
Absolutely. We have a big one coming up also in the main room at the Comedy Store that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about quite yet.
May 8th.
Oh, all right.
May 8th.
That's
May
locked
8th,
in.
10:30 p.m. May 8th. Come to the Comedy Store. Huge card. You want to tell about the card that they have? May 8th is nuts.
Should I break it
yes,
to him
break
now?
It down. Break it down.
Tom Goss versus Jack Trainer.
Let's go.
Ryan Cullen versus Ryan Nessen.
What?
and Max Sorich versus Malia Simon.
Oh.
Triple main event. We also have Britt Beer, the current Sacramento champion, taking on Trey Pack from Austin. It's going to be an incredible event. It's one of my favorite cards that we've put together.
This is going to be awesome.
Devastating lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're also coming to Kansas City. We're coming to St. Louis. We're coming to Seattle. Cities that are not in the league. We're going there. We're doing one-off, scouting some talent, seeing if maybe they could be part of this thing going forward. Thanks to Lucha from the Patreon for being the guest ranker this week. If you want to rank some battles, join the Patreon community. We're doing cool stuff over there. By the way, shout out to all the Patreon people who started doing Zoom battles last year and are now battling on the main stages.
I'm saying.
It's crazy.
There's like 4 or 5 of them that are like official RBL people now, having never done stand-up before.
Yeah, it's Chrissy Healy picked up a win in Austin. Way to go, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Ken out in New Orleans?
Ken in New Orleans. Yeah, there's so many of them, and I'm proud of them. I'm like a proud dad with the Patreon community.
And we know what happens to dads on this show.
They fuck each and every one of you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to fuck Lucha.
All right. You got anything else? I'm done. I'm out on that one.
April 16th, St. Louis. May 1st, Seattle. Just go get tickets, man. We love you guys.
Keith Carey, where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at Keith Tells Jokes. I am also going on the road with Tom Goss this week. Thursday, when you hear this, March 27th, I'll be in Pittsburgh at McFarland's. The 28th and 29th, I'll be at Cleveland at the Funny Stop doing stand-up and also judging the roast battle where Tom will be fighting. And the 30th, I will be in Detroit at a show I forgot the name of, but go to my Instagram and all that shit's there. And I'm coming out to the East Coast in Canada in April. Check my my links and everything as well.
Keith is truly one of the funniest stand-ups in the scene, and if you haven't seen him do stand-up and you live in any of those cities, you have to go check it out because he's a killer, and he's bringing other killers on the road with him. Tom Goss, former roast battle legend, Anna Valenzuela will be on some of the dates. Yes. So they're going to be great shows. Go check them out. Thanks as always for watching and supporting the show. We'll see you guys next week.